من از علاقه‌مندان سینما هستم. با کار شما آشنا هستم آقای کیارستمی.
خوش.
یه فیلمی هم از شما دیدم قبلا تلویزیون. تو مدرسه کلاس بود.
اولی ها.
تو هم مایه.
والا مایه‌اش مشخص نیست چون این فیلم نامه نداره. این بر اساس یک فکر داره ساخته میشه امروز و امروز کار ماست.
Iranian films have a unique space in the realm of cinema. They are exceptional, simple, innovative and inspirational. Abbas Kiarostami is a prominent figure of Iranian cinema, whose films received international acclaim. His extremely minimalistic directorial mode, experimental style and unconventional narrative pattern make his films oppositional to the traditional feature films. He is one of the pioneers of Iranian New Wave movement. I was introduced to Kiarostami by perhaps his most famous film, Where is the Friend Zone? Later, I have seen about his 20 movies and documentaries. Kiarostami created a realist parable cinema, often about the innocent world of children. I was so touched by the style of his storytelling and romanticism that pushed me to make this video. He has created a world of fiction that is more real than the physical world. I have chose his 10 films for this video series. This video will be more of an insight into the Kiarostami universe. I have taken his 3 films to discuss in today's World and Kiarostami video to observe the trend of 80s and 90s schooling and parenting in Middle East Asia. Kiarostami's first feature focuses on a boy in a provincial city, so avide to get to Tehran to see a soccer match that he will lie to adults and cheat other kids. A quest film that's also a study of youthful obsession. It's filmed in edgy black and white with a quiet energy that matches its heroes. The Traveler has an acridly ironic ending and one of the best performances by a child in Kiarostami's early work. The protagonist of The Traveler, a grade school student named Hassan Darabi, has a seemingly simple goal: to attend a soccer match in Tehran. In one conversation between his parents, we can find a tension regarding their child, but his mother was more concerned about her child's study and future.
این رسم بچه‌داریه. باید فکر بچه‌ت باشی. بری درس مخونن، نمخونن. مخوان روی سیواره وایسم لباس پرو کردن، لباس شستن. خودت منی با این بچه‌ت منم ول میکنم و میرم. آتیش روشن میکنم اینو خونم. پارسالم بهت گفتم تو اعتبارت نیومد. آخر سال رفوزت شو. تو که هیچ به فکرش نمیدی. هی میگم بشه، هی به رو خودت نیاد. هی مینیشی و این سیگار منی مینه دو انگشت تو دود میدی میره بالا که یعنی چی؟ خب هی به تو میگه تو هیچ ای گوش میزنی او گوش در میکنی.
We can see in his effort of collecting money for the bus tickets to Tehran, he stole 5 tomans from his mother. While his mother complained to the headmaster, he assured that a good beating to Hassan will put him to right path. In The Traveler, our hero passionately pursues his mission with an openness both of a piece and exclusive to the director's later protagonists. This character will in spiritual sense travel so far across his oeuvre that it's not erroneous to view him as the purest distillation of Kiarostami hero to date. When Abbas Kiarostami received the script for Where is the Friend's House in 1986, he had already made a number of features for Iran's Center of Intellectual Development of Children and Young Adults, which he headed at that time. The majority of these works consisted of didactic tales preaching simple truths about life, school, and the state. Whereas this new story showed some potential to go beyond. Eventually, Where is the Friend's House was Kiarostami's first movie to receive acclaim internationally and started what is now known as the Kokar trilogy, a series of films set in the Iranian village of Kokar, around 200 miles away from the nation's capital. Kokar and the surrounding villages are also home to Ahmad and his classmate Muhammad, who both attended elementary school. One day, after the teacher scolded his friend for having done his homework in the wrong notebook, Ahmed tried his best to calm down his friend after school. But as he returned home, he realized he has made a fatal mistake. Since both their notebooks look the same, he has put both in his rucksack. He asked his mother to allow him to visit his friend's home to return his copy. However, his mother thought her son is searching for an excuse not to do his homework. Ahmed finally takes the opportunity to see his friend when he was sent to buy bread for dinner. In an instance, he was stopped by his grandfather, who asked him to fetch cigarette from home. At first, Ahmed tries to deny it, but later he agreed as his grandfather scolded him for it. Later, his grandfather was explaining to a stranger how a child should be raised.
ما میخواییم بچه تحویل اجتماع درست در بیاد. در موقعی را که من بچه بودم پدر من هر هفته 10 به من میداد، هر 15 هم یک کتکی به من میزد. اگر چنانچه در هفته اون 10 قطع میشد، اما در 15 اون کتک قطع نمیشد، برای که من تحویل اجتماع بیام. شما شاهد می‌بینید که نوه من اینجا آمد، من 3 نفر تکرار بهش کردم.
Ahmed asks strangers with great frequency and to no avail if they know where his friend lives. And after a while you will get the sense that this is because children and adults do not trust one another. The repetition of the dialogue becomes absurd to the point of being unrealistic, transformed into something more abstract and poetic that represents the complete lack of communication between generations. Kiarostami teaches children that adults are not always right, and that a sense of morality comes from within, not from governing rules or social institutions. Iran has a long cinematic tradition of feature films with children in the main roles. This has made it possible to tackle adult themes that would otherwise have been blocked by the censor. In his documentary Homework, Abbas Kiarostami trains his camera on children who are just being children. The 6-year-old school kids he interviews on subjects such as homework, punishment, and reward have been drilled to provide socially appropriate responses. But with gentle persistence, the director elicits more honest answers, painting a more realistic picture. Corporal punishment is commonplace. Parents are unable to help with their homework because they are illiterate or have no time. And schools focus on mindless repetition and unquestioning loyalty and discipline.
پدر سواد داره؟ مادرت چطور؟ پس تو خونه کی به درس و مشقت میرسه؟
صابخونم.
چجوری؟
اول دیکته داره میرم چه صابخونم رو.
کی رسیدی که میکنه به درس و مشقت تو خونه؟
خواهرم دیگه.
خواهره؟ خب پدر رسیدگی نمیکنه؟ چرا؟
چون که سواد نداره.
مادرت چطور؟
مادرم همینطور. فقط خواهرم.
خب خواهرت؟
با داداشم.
تنبیهت کرده تا حالا موقع درس؟
کی؟
خواهره. تنبیهت کرده؟
موقع چی؟
تو تنبیه میدونی یعنی چی؟
بله.
یعنی چی؟
یعنی کتک زدم.
یعنی
کتک زدم.
تشویق یعنی چی؟
نمیدونم.
The director again asked the kids how will they treat their own children in future. The striking responses of the children show how their parents' behavior has shaped the child's mind. This is such a crude representation that keeps hidden between all the visual upbringing.
خب وقتی بزرگ شدی، بچه دار شدی، بچه تکالیفشو خوب ننوشت، تو هم سراغ کمربند میری یا نه؟ چرا؟
اینکه بابا من نمیذاره منو مثلا بسون
بله درست بود شما بشنویم.
بابا من نمیذاره من بس اونا نزنم دیگه.
باستی کیا رو نزنی؟
سر بچه مونه نزنی.
بچه خودتون نمیزنی؟ حالا ای بابا تو رو میزد؟
من میزنم.
میزدیش؟ بچه تو چه گناهی داشت؟ بابا اشتباه کردی تو رو زد. خب تنبیه چی؟ تنبیه چجوری شدی تو حالا؟
با چک میزدن تو صورتم. با چک میزدن تو صورتم.
کی میزنه؟
بابام.
به نظر تو کار درستی میکنه یا نه؟
بابامون؟
آها.
بله.
کار درستی میکنه؟ چرا کار درستی میکنه؟
چون که ما اذیت میکنیم اونم عصبش خورد میشه.
خیلی خوب. چند تا میزنه؟
5 تا 7 تا.
5 تا 7 تا. به نظر تو این 5 تا 7 تا کافیه یا کمه؟
کافیه.
بیشتر نمیشه؟ کمتر چی؟
کمتر؟ نه.
همون 5 تا خوبه. اگه تو بابا بودی چند تا میزد اگه بچه شیطونی میکرد؟
ما 7 تا.
7 تا. چرا پس بابات 5 تا بزنه تو 7 تا میزنی؟
هم بابامون بعضی موقع که اعصابش خورد میشه مثلا میگه که قاسم بشی ما نمیشونیم بلند میشه 7 تا میزنه.
7 تا رو میزنه.
Kiarostami's visual investigation paints a disturbing picture of the Iranian school system, and thereby also of a society that both produces these educational methods and is shaped by them. The conversations also form a portrait of a generation that grew up during the Iran-Iraq War, a generation who lived in a permanent state of uncertainty, were force-fed propaganda on daily basis, and were allowed few opportunities to enjoy the playfulness of childhood. Thank you all for watching this long video essay. I'm trying to do something different with this video series. If you like my presentation, do share and subscribe. Let's meet on the next episode of Discovering Kiarostami.